Hello and welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Stacy Albe. I'm your student Success 101 teacher. I also teach English here at Folsom High, so you may have two videos from me, but let's get started. Okay, so here's my professional and academic experience. This is why they allow me, or how they allow me, to be in the classroom with your children. I'm walking into my 10th year of teaching, my 5th year here at Folsom High. Before this, I taught middle school. So I actually really enjoy teaching the freshmen. It's not that much different from my middle school days. I am a product of my community here in Sacramento. I went to Sacramento State. I received my bachelor's in English there. And I also got my teaching credential at Sac State. I also went to high school at Cordova High, so go Lancers. Rules to live by: be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. Basically, anything that's going down in my classroom is going to fall under one of these categories. So we're just going to be safe, be respectful, and be responsible, and kind. Equitable Gradebook. I'm trying something new this year, and I am even going to do this with my Success 101 Gradebook. So it is an equitable Gradebook, and this is from, we had a professional development book that was given to us by Mr. Cadenhead, and I completely fell in love with this. I love the pedagogy behind this. It makes complete sense to me, and so I decided this year I'm going to go all in, and I want my gradebook to be an equitable gradebook. This is the first year I will be using a weighted gradebook, so I have to enter in points, but the way the points weight the grade, more significant assignments, the ones that appeal to the mastery of the standard, will be weighted more than, let's say, homework or classwork. Okay? Students will be graded on their mastery of standard, and even in Success 101, there will be standards, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Essential skills is what I'm calling them. Okay? Students will not be graded on behaviors like homework, submission, or late work penalties. Those are behaviors. And where I will grade behaviors will be in the citizenship grade, attending class on time and participation. Those are behaviors, and I'll grade those in citizenship. Okay. What will be graded? So your student will be graded on their mastery of essential skills. We'll go over those in a few minutes for this class in particular. Summative assessments will happen in this class, and I will let the students know when one of the essential skills will be graded as a summative assessment. Okay. Formative assessments will consist of quizzes and shorter assignments. Not so much quizzes in Success 101, more like a more extended practice. So all classwork and homework will be put in the gradebook, but it will not count towards the grade. So it will not help or hurt. What will help is these summative assessments and these formative assessments, weighted at 5% and 95%. Okay, and here's why I'm trying this, and there's a graphic there that you can look at a little bit closer when you have time. But basically, it's the this equitable gradebook that's standard-based grading, which is what the equitable gradebook is, versus the traditional grading system with points. Okay, so instead of it being like I just need to accumulate all the points, it's actually going to be I need to show mastery for this standard. And so students are able to gain knowledge without their fear of timing being graded, right? So I tell the kids all, from the beginning of the year, I can only control what goes on within these four walls, right? I cannot control what happens after the bell rings. I cannot control what kind of home they go home to. But I can control the environment here. And so this is where this equitable gradebook, I think, is going to pay off. I'm super excited about this. Your students will learn to be intrinsically motivated without having to be graded on behaviors. Okay, they can gain mastery at their own time and their own pace. Okay. So makeup work, I will accept late work for no penalty up to 1 week before the end of the quarter and 2 weeks before the end of the semester, and that's mainly so I can get it in the gradebook. Okay, I have dates here. Okay, so 1 week out from quarters and 2 weeks out from semesters. All summative assessments must be submitted in order for your student to receive a final grade. Students who don't complete summative assessments will receive an incomplete in my class. I'm not going to fail them because they didn't complete a summative assessment. I will ask that they turn those summative assessments in. Okay? And that's so that I can accurately assess what your student is doing? Like, what is their level of mastery for that standard? If I just give the 0, I don't know, right? I don't know. So I'd rather have the work, have the summative assessment come in, so that I can actually assess it. Okay, we are going to be reading some literature in here. During semester 1, we're going to be reading Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And during second semester, we're going to be reading Success for Teens. Success for Teens. We'll get these at the library. You do not have to provide these for your student. If you'd like to get your own copy or their own copy, you're more than welcome, but you do not have to. Okay, materials for class. Oh my goodness, this one is number 1. Please have your student bring a positive attitude to class. I encourage my students when they come into this class to put their shoulders down, that this is a place where they can learn in a safe environment. Okay, number 2 for this class will be either their pause port or calendar sheets. And actually, I'm going to pause this because I want to show you. 1 minute. I'm back, and I apologize. So you should be able to right now go into your student's backpack and find a pink folder. This is going to be their Success 101 folder until we get our pause ports in. And when we get our pause ports in, I may just keep the pink folder just so that we have a place to put our Cornell notes and keep organized. Okay, so each student got a pink folder. They also received 2 tabs. One for right now is going to be for their calendar sheets. So in place of a pause port or a planner, I'm just printing out a monthly sheet, like a full month view. And then I'm also filling out with them a weekly sheet. For right now, we're only focusing on English, math, and biology. And then if there's anything for electives or for Success 101, we're putting it on the side. You should be able to go into your student's backpack right now and pull this out, have them pull this out for you. Okay, so they should have their pink folder for Success 101. As soon as we get our pause port, I may reevaluate this, but until then, this is what we're using. A charged Chromebook and maybe their charger. Okay, a charged Chromebook and maybe their charger, so that they can do work in this class when we have downtime. Okay, so they can work on other assignments from other classes in this class, during this class time, and get help. Friday, we will be switching seats, and I will be seating them according to their biology teacher this go around. And I'm just going to switch it up. Sometimes it'll be biology teacher, sometimes it'll be math teacher, sometimes it'll be English teacher, so that they're with the same kids that have the same class. Even if it's not the same period, they can help each other with notes, they can help each other with homework. Okay. Optional would be notebook paper, but I have some here. Majority of assignments are still on Chromebook, so having the Chromebook and the charger would be helpful. Also something to write with that's not neon, invisible, or black Sharpie would be helpful, but I also have pens and pencils here for them to use. Okay, so here are the essential skills we're going to go over during semester 1. Calendar blocking, and as soon as the pause port comes in, we'll be using the pause port. And actually, I'll probably ask them if they like, because the pause port's going to be small. So if they like having the full page, I don't mind running these for the year. But that's the first thing we do in class every day, is we go, I call it calendar blocking, and we block out their calendar. And so everybody says, okay, what teacher do you have? What's the assignment? When's it due? What do we need to study for? Okay, I have a huge calendar in here that students are responsible for putting their big due dates so that we know what we need to study for. Okay, so calendar blocking, I'm actually going to grade them on this. This is going to be a skill, because this is a skill that you need to be organized, right? This is something even as adults, whether we use our phone or we write it down or we have a fat, desk calendar or a calendar that goes on a fridge. This is something that we use, okay? So this will be an essential skill that they're taught and evaluated on and assessed during this semester. Cornell notes, that's another thing that's going in the pink binder. So the first tab is going to be calendars. The second tab is going to be Cornell notes. I will be collecting Cornell notes weekly. It is a strategy that I am teaching. It is a way of doing notes. I believe I sent it out with one of the weekly emails. But we're going over this. Students are expected to take 1 set of Cornell notes and submit them to me weekly during quarter 1, 2 sets of Cornell notes during quarter 2, a week, 3 sets weekly, quarter 3, and 4 sets weekly during quarter 4. And then I'm going to grade them, assess them on that skill on a 1, 2, 3, 4 rubric, and then give them back to them. So even if they don't take notes in class, they're taking the notes in their academic classes for Success 101. It's a skill that we're learning and we're building on. Okay. Binder and backpack organization. I will do a binder and a backpack check either weekly or bi-weekly. I will be honest, from what I've seen of your students, I'm really impressed. It won't be something that I think I'm terribly worried about, but we're also still in kind of the honeymoon phase of the school year. So we'll see in about 3 weeks what the backpacks really look like. But for right now, they're looking pretty good. Okay. What I want to avoid is the smashed paper inside the backpack, like the lunch and the smashed banana and the year-old like peanut butter and jelly. I want to avoid all of that. So I give time for them to clean out their backpacks on Mondays and Fridays and get everything in the binders, getting everything not in the sides, like not in this pocket. This pocket becomes like the catch-all. So I like this to be cleared out and everything to be put away in a folder, in 3-hole punched and in a binder or a folder where it belongs. Okay. Writing and sending professional emails to teachers and staff when needed. Getting that relationship piece with the adults in their life so that when and if there ever is a problem, there's already been positive contact. So we sent happy mail to our teachers, talking about, one thing that they are really good at in class and one thing that they may struggle in. And they sent that to their teachers. And so we are communicating back and forth with our teachers. And then if there's ever anything that's a question about missing work or missing assignments or needing help, there's time built into the class for them to email their instructors on their own, doing that in a professional manner. And I just ask that they CC me so that I can monitor their progress. Semester 2, we're going to go over a different type of notes. Students generally like doodle notes, but I will give them the option once we go through doodle notes, whether they want to turn in weekly doodle notes or Cornell notes. And as long as I'm getting 3 sheets of one or the other from academic classes, it won't matter to me. Okay, but it'll be another skill. It'll be a different way of taking notes that they can use. Professional and polite interactions with staff and peers. We will actually talk about how you introduce yourself. I like to do it the second semester because we're a little bit more familiar with each other, and so it's not as awkward. Okay. We'll continue with Pausport and calendar organization and usage, and we'll continue with binder and backpack organization weekly or bi-weekly as needed. So like I said, your students are pretty good at this right now. Like, I'm not concerned. I've not seen any crazy yet, but we'll see. Okay. There will be little to no homework except for Cornell notes in my class, or notes in my class. So if your student says they don't have any homework for Success 101, they're probably telling the truth. But you are always more than welcome to contact me here. This is the best way to contact me. I always respond to parent and student emails first out of all the crazy that gets sent during my day. So please allow me 2 business days to respond. So if you send something on a Friday afternoon, I probably won't see it until, Monday morning. But I generally will respond sooner than 2 business days. But please don't get angry with me if it's before 2 business days. I promise, I'm trying my best to get through them as quickly as possible. Here is my phone number here. You are more than welcome to call me. However, I am teaching every period of the day, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have class. So before school or after school, you're more than welcome to call me because my lunch is mine. Okay, so I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I hope your students having a wonderful year. I'm super excited to be teaching this class. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day.